My fellow Strike Force players, less than 1 year has passed since I first started playing Marvel Strike Force, but I'm here to say that the state of the game is strong. Or is it? That is what I am discussing in this video with Chewburger84. So let's go smash it!
Valley Flyer.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? Valley Flying here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. Talking about the state of the game today, and I am joined by the Thunder from down under, all the way from Dubai, Mr. Chewburger84. What's up, brother?
Mate, not much. I'm pumped. I've been waiting for this a very long time now. We've been talking about it for a while.
We were talking about this for many, many months, and finally glad that we got a chance to get together. So we're talking about the state of the game today. If you had to summarize what is going on in Marvel Strike Force, in a sense, before we get into a little more in depth, what would you say is going on in the game right now?
I would say describing it is probably as difficult as describing the state of the union for you guys, mate. It's a mixed bag for me on the daily, for sure.
I think that's pretty accurate as far as how I'm feeling as well. But let's break it down. Let's get a little more in depth with this.
December
6th, 2018.
a date which will live in infamy.
Yes, it will live in infamy because that is a day that we got red stars. I think both on your podcast and on my channel we've discussed red stars ad nauseum. What do you think of the state of red stars right now, and what do you think is going on going forward with this stuff?
Yeah, the more time I spend with them, my thoughts don't change, bro. It's if anything, I kind of see more how the metagame's going to work for that. And the more red stars you get, the more 4 stars you have, the more likely you are to get duplicates, the more likely you are to really slow down your progression. So I really hate the gambling aspect. People that listen to our content know that I bang on about this a lot. So I would love to see the random number generators for 6 and 7 star change still. And definitely the way they do the scaling as well. How about you, bro?
I feel the same. My biggest issues coming in to the red stars was the RNG nature of it. At the time it got released, I kind of accepted it, and then I saw how big the scaling got at 6, 7 stars, just crazy numbers. I'm like, this is the combination of the two just made it bad. Even with that, I was kind of excited to be opening some of these, but now I'm getting a lot of duplicates over and over, and it's not as fun, and it's still as bad for the game. So my thoughts on red stars, they need to change some things, make it either less RNG or make the scaling a little less, but they need to change some things about it to make it a little more fair, is my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, do you think some people would say that we're just salty because we haven't got any decent characters at a 6 or a 7 star yet?
Maybe, but I got some decent pulls. It still doesn't feel good because it's not like I earned it. I lucked into it. I like it gives me more of a sense of pride and accomplishment when I have to earn it instead of just get lucking in my way into it. But that's me.
I love that meme is still kicking on, and the new Diablo one as well, which is like, what? You guys don't have phones? Like, oh my god, so good, so good.
I did not
do any cheating. So yes, bugs, exploits. There's been a little bit of a history with this, from the core loading to the cheat bots, and now more of a bug than a cheat. But this is affecting a lot of the whales in the game. Those the recent orange orb fiasco that's happening. What are your thoughts on this and Dark Dimension and a lot of the cheating that's going on in the game?
Yeah, well, I guess, is it cheating, I guess, is the main debate at the moment. So I think that, everyone knew that if you clicked on 1,000 orbs and got that advantage, you were getting an advantage that no one else was going to get. So I think the rollback goes without saying that everyone wants to see that. And the guys in those whale Discord, those whale guilds, they know that's going to happen. They should get their Dark Dimension process wiped, which it sounds like it's going to. But I don't think they deserve bans. There are some people calling for that. As long as they wipe any of the advantages that they got for those 2 or 3 weeks, I think I'm cool with it. I guess we'll wait and see what the announcement is on the blog post tomorrow. Where's your gut telling you they should go with this?
Right from the beginning, I said this should not be a permanent ban. If they're going to do anything, at the most should be a temporary ban. But this is a bug. It's not a cheat. I'm not feeling too strongly on it. As long as they do get their accounts rolled back to what it should be, I'm fine with whatever happens.
That the only thing we have to fear is
Dark Dimension. What are your thoughts on the state of Dark Dimension at this point?
Dark Dimension to me is hilarious because there was a 60-day countdown for this mode where it was like, get ready, this is coming. You're going to need to have all your characters at tier 13 ready to go. And then it rolls around and there's like 2 guys that go, oh yeah, I think we're ready to go, guys. But that's it. There's like, it's a game mode that is sitting there that 99.9% of the population cannot touch. It's like announcing DLC, putting it on the screen as a teaser for 3 to 4 months. So I think that they've missed the boat here in so many ways, and the RNG locking that they've done with the unique orbs, the fact that I'm still on 0 for 12 of the components I need for most of my shield guys, and it's been 4 months of farming. The fact that there is so much RNG tied into that, and if you're just unlucky, that it just stops all progression. It wouldn't bother me if Ultron wasn't what's at stake. If he is going to be as overpowered as what they say he is going to be, Valley, that's when we might have some troubles. I mean, where are you sitting for this one?
I don't know how long it's going to be before I could even enter this. The orange gear is definitely a problem. I hope they make it a little more accessible. But I do like the way they worded in their blog post that despite all of our warnings, he still entered it. So I thought they were having a little fun with it. They did mention that it was real end game content before they even did some stuff, and it kind of seems that way. But that Ultron, man, if you're facing an Ultron in Alliance Wars, depending how it's situated, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's a very strong character. And if you got people running around with these and you're trying to beat that character in a PvP mode, it's not going to be fun.
Oh, no way. No way at all. But I guess the good news is because it's the same 3 alliances that seem to be the ones clearing this mode. The good news is for most Alliance Wars, if they get the matchmaking right, those guys are going to face each other most of the time. So I guess that's what I got my fingers crossed, because we're sitting in the top 20. If we have to face Ultron City, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
To make
The raids.
great again for all
MSF players. Yes, let's make the raids great again. I got to be honest. When there was the Ultimus 5 and I could auto that whole thing, took very little time, that was when I liked the raids the most. Now we got Ultimus 6. You actually have to play it, even with a pretty good roster. You might be able to auto some stuff, but with these gamma raids and these other Greek symbol raids that they've been putting out that require trait-based nodes on this with some crappy characters, I don't think these raids are great right now. What do you think as far as the state of these raids?
Yeah, look, raids are my jam. They always have been. This is the part of the game that I enjoy the most, usually. Obviously, Gamma is a bit of a different story right now. But I think most of the raids, other than Ultimus, have a very common theme. I think Red Stars and Time is going to get everyone through Ultimus 6. I actually feel like Ultimus 6 is in a pretty good place. All you really need is a shield team, to be completely honest with you, and you can decimate that raid. There's a lot of content released on that, but when it comes to Gamma, I mean, this is classic Fox Next. It's like, okay, let's show you all these nodes for characters that haven't been reworked yet, for characters that haven't been released yet, although we did get Mantis today, I suppose, that you have zero hope of getting through in the game the way it is. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen between Gamma the way it is now and Gamma the way it is next time. I guess if I was in Fox Next's head, I can kind of see what they've done, Valley, which is they're like, all right, this time around, the only people that are going to get 100% is the people that are paying that money for the refreshers in those top spending alliances. I'm hoping next time around, they're like, all right, you guys had your time to shine. Let's open it up a little bit more. So your 60% and your 30% guys doing Gamma 7 get a little bit more love with the gear. How about you?
See, my fear is that, I don't know if you remember the original Thanos raids. They were hard, and then when they came back, they made it even harder. And then same thing with Deadpool. Now they did reverse them eventually, but I'm hoping that when this does come back, hopefully it's after a rework. You know, some of these teams got better. They will keep it exactly the same and do what you're suggesting, so that the 30%, 60% can get to 100% when it comes back. But if they keep changing up these raids, I think that's very bad. But as far as what you said about Ultimate 6, I think that is in a good place. But these other limited time raids, not fun. Not fun. I like a challenge, and these are challenging, but they're just not fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, and look, you bring up a good point there as well. And for a lot of people in the community, if they do change the difficulty on these raids between now and when they come back, hold FoxNext to task, because they did promise us in a dev blog a long time ago, after the second Deadpool, that any established raids from here on out would not change. They wouldn't retune campaign nodes, they wouldn't retune raid nodes, except for new character tweaks. Other than that, they would leave it the same. They would not increase difficulty, they would not reduce rewards. So if they do, Valley, we need to really make sure that we remind them of that promise they made to us on their website.
Oh, I will definitely be reminding them about that. I mean, but it would not surprise me if they went back on that promise, because there's been other things that they've said that have changed since they've originally stated them. So I hope that they will not just give us lip service and keep these raids exactly how they are, not say, oh, it was supposed to be hard, and now the Kree got reworked. We got to make these a little more challenging. That is my fear. I hope they don't do that.
Oh, I think they're plenty challenging as they are now, dude. I think it's built for the Kree rework. I mean, if you've been in that Kree lane, you know it's not doable right now. And it's not worth having T12 Kree right now, because you don't know which 5 they're going to pick. So I think we're safe, and I'm being optimistic here. But you're right, they've done it to us before, bro.
Read my lips. No new taxes.
So yes, no new taxes. There's no taxes in this game, but there is an in-game economy. Various people are struggling at different choke points. I'm struggling with training mats right now. I know a lot of people are struggling with gold. What do you think of the current in-game economy right now?
Yeah, I think they need to let one of the bottlenecks go, because it's been purple catalysts, it's been gold for a very long time. Gold, they've definitely eased a lot, especially with some of the new milestones, but I think it's at the point where they could just open it up. You know, have payday like they do in some other games, like once a week or once every fortnight, much more frequently. So then you're only dealing with purple catalysts, maybe training modules. That's a weird one to have, but I know you're not alone there. But let's face it, I mean, orange gear for T13 access, that's the real endgame bottleneck right now. So I think the gold bottleneck, they should just open the floodgates and just let it all out. It's the best it's been for a long time, but I don't see the point of having 3 bottlenecks still. There's plenty of money they can make in this game without having all 3 bottlenecks still intact.
Yeah, one of my questions I posed a while ago is having all these bottlenecks actually costing them money? Because when they release a new character, I'm like, I can't really build them how I want it. Why would I spend money on this? So I think that's something they definitely need to reevaluate, having this many bottlenecks. Because if I wanted one of the new characters, it would entice me at least to know that I could use them right away and not have them in this very weakened state for a few weeks before I could even use it. So, and by that time, I could get them in a blitz or something. So I think that's something they need to evaluate. And I never thought I would be out of training mats, but I hope they do some kind of event like they do for gold and other things for that, because
me too.
I'm out.
Look, I think you hit the nail. Yeah, man, I gotta have a look at how many I've got now. You've got me worried that I'm coming up on a bottleneck I haven't seen yet. Yeah. But I think you said it exactly right. Like, they want us to spend money on new characters. Red Stars, the way they are right now, it's less likely to make you want to do that because, like, well, do I want to get this guy to tier 12 when he's brand new and I've got 3 stars yellow, no red stars? Am I better off just putting everything into my main team? So giving you enough gold and training modules to at least play around with these new characters makes sense if they want you to spend more money on new characters. We said it a long time ago on videos and also podcasts, I think you did as well, is that Red Stars makes it less likely like people are going to spend money on new characters because you're going to go where the Red Stars are for most competitive teams. So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with what you were saying there, pal.
We shall.
Make Blitz fun.
Yes, we can.
Yes, so hopefully we can make Blitz a fun mode. Are you having fun with Blitz right now, Chew?
No. No, that's... In a word, no. I mean, I posted the highest score that I ever did on the... I can't remember what blitz it was now. It was about 3 or 4 blitzes ago. But that reminded me of how much I hated it. So I've gone back to just milestoning for the last 3. So it's a chore, man. And as someone that works in a relatively long hours a day job where I can't pick up my phone for a lot, it's not something that's viable for me to compete very frequently, only on the weekends. How are you finding it now? Are you going hard still?
No, and that's why I appreciate these blitzes like Ant-Man and Thor. Yep. Characters I don't need to play at all. But next week we got Mantis coming, and man, there's going to be some crazy scores with that.
Man.
So one of my big issues is time overall in the game. The raids, the blitz, Alliance Wars coming that may take a lot of strategy. So if they could reduce some time, I think the one place that they can reduce is blitz. I'd like to see those 6-hour timers back. What do you feel about those 6-hour timers? If that would make it a little more enjoyable for you?
Yes and no. I think it'd put it on more of a fair balance field for guys in my specific situation. I mean, there are some people where they can only log in at very finite intervals, so 2 hours. Whatever it is at the moment works better for them. In a perfect world, I would love it to be more like other games where you have a maximum amount of attempts per team per day, and you can do it at your own pace. So if you want to get up in the morning and spam all of your teams in 1 hour, you do that, all right? If you want to basically space it out over the day between breaks, you do that. I mean, that'd be great for the player base for flexibility to be able to get, more time to strategize and not just rush through. But that's not the best thing for Fox Next. Not when one of their main tracking metrics is very likely to be how often are the players logging into game.
Yeah, I mean, with Alliance Wars, you might have to log in anyway. I would be in favor of a drastic mechanic change like that, where you get what is it? Right now you get 12, so you get 12 free battles per team per character per day. Anything after that, you would have to spend cores. I would be in favor of that. Doing one big, maybe hour-long run or something like that. It might cost take more time, but I actually like Blitz. But the time that it takes to be competitive at makes me not want to play it, because I like yourself don't have 2 hours that I could look at my phone every 2 hours and spend 10-20 minutes going through these teams. And if I don't find a team I like, I have to spend more. If I don't find a good opponent, I have to spend more time looking for that good opponent that I'm not going to automatically lose to. So yeah, for me the big issue with Blitz is the time. So if they did something like that, I would be much more favorable.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Give me the cores. Yeah, so let's talk about these cores. The biggest place that you're getting cores, other than buying them, is from your arena ranking. So what do you think the state of arena is right now? Are you happy with it?
No. And the only reason, again, just to keep spinning that broken record, my friend, is Red Stars. So, I mean, I literally can't compete the way I used to. I'm falling much, much further behind, simply because I haven't rolled 6s and 7s, where the other people I used to compete with in the top 20 did. So our top 20 hasn't changed much, but there's only like 4 or 5 new guys, but the top 10 are the same whales and krakens we always have had, that just got luckier than me. That's really what it's come down to. I think for the most part, for top 100 to top 2,000, I think Arena's in a pretty reasonable place. I'd still love the snapback system to be modified a little bit and change the way they do lockouts for 15 minutes. But I think for the top 50, I think that's really Red Stars or bust. If you don't have the Red Stars, it is going to be a nightmare for you going forward. How are you faring in Arena now?
You know, I was struggling, ranging between low hundreds to 500 if I don't pay attention. Right around when Red Stars came out is when I was consistently in the top 100 and going for the top 50. So I'm probably on the opposite end of the effect of Red Stars, but definitely once you get inside that top 50, there's some teams that you just can't beat. I used to be able to beat Shield teams pretty good with my Shield team, but if I see a medic with a lot of stars, it's very tough to beat. So the certain teams that got lucky, it's almost impossible to beat unless you have the power to compete with them and got lucky as well. But for the most part, I would say Arena is in a good place. There's obviously going to be some major exceptions, but for the most part, I think it's in a good place.
Yeah, I'd agree. Other than the Red Stars and Luck in the top end, I think Arena's pretty reasonable. I'd love it if the core share went up a little bit more, or things that use cores had their prices reduced a little bit. It doesn't affect me too much in that top 20 to top 40, but a lot of those people in the hundreds to 500s, they might save up a couple of weeks just to buy a couple of red orbs. So I'd love to see that economy change a little bit, if anything, for the lower tiers, for the free-to-play players.
And so, my fellow
Strike Force players,
ask not what
Fox next.
can do for you. Ask what you can do for your
Fox next. So what can we do for Fox next? Where do you see the future of this game heading? If you had a ability to shape the direction that this game is going, where would you see this? I know Alliance Wars is on the horizon. Probably Ms. Marvel. We got the Kree work coming out probably in February sometime. What do you think they would help them shape the future for this game?
Oh man, how long have you got? It all depends on what's feasible and what I would love to do, I suppose. So, the Kree work is something that I think is essential. It's a free team for everyone that's farmed Fury. That's always good. The fact that it's cosmic, it's going to fit into Raid. There's going to be a decent Blitz team. I can't wait for that. I really want to play around with Mantis. I think that Guardians rework is going to be a pretty reasonable Raid little squad shortly. So I really want to see that. War Machine, I really want to find out how much of a big deal 10% actually makes in Alliance Wars. And the future for this game at the moment, if you're looking at Fox Next's latest trends, seems to be really trying to split your focus in regards to characters with specific game bonuses, whether it's PvP, whether it's Raid. I don't have a problem with them doing that as long as it's not in Arena. Anything else, I don't mind game-specific bonuses, to be honest. As far as what would I love in a perfect world, I would love the gambling elements to be removed from Red Stars. I would love the tiering to be restored on Red Stars. I would also love to see some promotional events from Fox Next. Let's have some damn fun with it, man. We're leaving all these big events to the League of Legends and Dota guys. Get a 5v5 kind of squad tournament type thing. Get a couple of the top whale guilds going head to head. Videotape it, record it. Change the format a little bit. I'd love to see some entertainment come out and really showcase off this game a little bit more, because it's a fun game in concept. There's just a couple little things they could do to iron out to make it really polished and super entertaining. What's on your wish list, dude?
My main thing is time. The thing that that I fear most with Alliance Wars coming is the amount of time that this game takes. That's one. Obviously, a Hulk rework, but looking bigger picture, like you said, make this more of a community type thing. And let me know what you guys think is the future for Marvel Strike Force, the state of the game right now. You guys like it? You guys not like it? Where do you want to see this game go? Schubert, tell everybody where they could find your podcast. Tell everybody about your channel. Anything else you want to promote?
Yeah, so at this stage, head on over to Tuberger84 on YouTube. I got some guides out for some Marvel Strike Force content, mainly focused on raids at the moment. But the main thing I'd love you to do is to download our podcast, Strike Force Masters of Launch, and you can find that on anywhere you would normally download podcasts with myself and Big Roy Awesome. But Valley, thank you so much for having me, man. I had a blast. looking forward to doing this again, preferably without this flu next time.
I hope you get better. I hope you're feeling better very soon. And I do look forward to doing it again. Thank you for joining us. If you guys like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, join the notification squad. BlueStacks link in the description. You can support the channel. And Sugarburger, before you go, I do have one question for you.
Sure, buddy. What's up?
Do you like pies?
I do like
It
pies,
doesn't
yeah.
matter if you like pies. If you smell what Valley Flying is cooking.
No.
Valley Flying out.